It's me, so I'm on.
Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. This is our very special Twitch exclusive after party. We have been interviewing Morten Rongard from Reality Plus, the fine makers of Doctor Who Worlds Apart, and some of us like playing. So we're gonna.
Some of us also like chips, so sorry.
Some of us also like chips. Yeah, this is also true. And various other beverages, because, you know, it's getting on to that point in the evening. So I'm going to bring in my screen here. I'll set up the new... Actually, I'm going to set the game up before I do that. Not that it's a secret what everybody does. No, that's not what I needed. Stop. Oh, shoot. I think I just closed the whole thing. Oh, I just closed out everything.
It ain't lying about Glorious, y'all. Just so you know. This
really is updating again?
It's not my favorite.
Why are you talking about
it's literally updating again.
Yeah, but then just open the thing and doesn't actually update. Okay, that's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Quick side note, I'm going to, for those who follow us on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS YouTube channel, streaming all that kind of stuff, they already know the fun I have with Mr. Candyman over there when it comes to sending treats and sweets and stuff like that. I am now, because he does not know about this, but I might as well tell him now, I'm starting to accumulate different types of ranch dressings. And I'm going to send them to him in different forms. So I don't know whether or not I can get the liquids over there, but I know I can at least get all the different types of packets. So he's going to get like the Aldi version. He's going to get a Publix version. He's going to get the Hidden Valley Ranch version. He's going to get every type of ranch, everything I can find. So that way he has his own care package of just ranch, because ranch flavoring apparently is not a thing in the UK. So
I have found one ranch salad dressing by Newman's. That's it.
That's it. Nope. I've got it. One of my favorite recipes. And it's probably why I gained 40 pounds, but hey, it was a delicious way to get there. It was a roast, except that Kevin was making, and it was called a Mississippi roast. And you bought the ground, the roast. You cut up how you want. You put it, you could, it's basically, you take it, you put it into a big roasting pan. And one of the things was, it was pepperoncinis, and it was a packet of au jus sauce, kind of the packet kind of version, but it was 2 packets of ranch, and you put that on there, and I forget what other liquid, or if it just boiled down or what have you, and absolutely phenomenal, having that bitter buttermilk tanginess with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna send him every ranch thing he can have, and then you could just delve into all the recipes that are ranch.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I might have seen some
this is a dangerous choice to mulligan, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I am at the bottom here. It isn't showing my username because we've got the banner running.
Sorry.
And Mackenzie is at the top there.
And it's not showing my username either. So yeah.
So hold on, just get
to change it.
You can change it.
It is also, and it is your turn. Oh, you just
If I
disconnected.
hide the banner, will it pop open?
Oh, whoops! I just exited out by accident. My bad.
Oh well, now their player disconnected.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to have the banner saying where they're at because clearly they're here. I'll just once in a while tell people to remember to like.
And I was actually happy with that hand.
Yeah. Well, here I'll just ditch out because.
No,
I'm going back in. I just.
Yeah, I'll just have to reload it. I'm sure there's a way to dump out of the actual.
I was trying to see if there was an edit, and like, nope. I click on. I'm like, is this the edit? No, you just get selected. Oh, ow. Are
you guys having problem with Unity at all?
I think there's a fat Viking in here. Huh? What?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, that's why.
Look at the sisters. Look at them. These cards are just so absolutely amazing. Seriously.
Right.
I mean, all y'all can be mad with I want to see what ratings they are. I want to see how much art on it takes. Screw you. I want to see the art.
Yeah.
You can tell you're the artist, Melanie.
There we go.
There we go. And let's just get it up on screen. Morton, you are welcome to come join us here on camera if you like for a little bit. You can come go as you need. Same as everybody else in your on your team. No, not a video file.
Yeah. And we connected my Twitch too. So now your people have 3 channels before they get that.
Shall we do Instagram as well?
Yeah, right. I really like how the sisters have different hairstyles, and it's not just different hairstyles that is current. It's period. It's very period specific. Like the one at the top has her hair up in a very Victorian era style that almost, I don't even say Victorian, I would say it was almost.
Can I have my previous hand back?
Deco. It was like an Art Nouveau kind of tussled up style. The other one just had her hair long and flowy, very natural. You could make an argument that's very 70s ish, just very the bangs, not really having bangs, just more of like a face frame kind of bang style. And the other one just kind of a fun back ponytail, kind of up a little bit. So I really loved the artwork and the 3 sisters because they're different, and it shows that the 3 sisters also do transcend time a little bit on how old they are. Incoming.
Hey.
See, we were talking about the sisters, and boop, there's more.
Yeah.
There we go.
Here I am. Talking about the sisters, right? Dinner served.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now we have Dave on the bottom.
Mackenzie's
So we can see his hand,
Yep.
but we do not see Mackenzie's hand.
Right.
So we
If
should
Mackenzie shares her screen, you are welcome to switch between the 2.
Yep.
Oh, that's not it. Where? Oh, I can't.
So as I played Magic Gathering, with this you have like 3 pre-decks you can play for free, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the Silurians, the Daleks, and the Cyberman. I haven't played much of the Cyberman, but with the Daleks and with the Silurians, if you play Magic the Gathering, the Silurians are like your green deck, which is like your big and stumpy ones. Yeah. Which I found. So like the big numbers, but it takes a long game to build. But once you get to that part of the game, the other player's history. And I found the Daleks a bit more like the red pack, like it's haste. It's just literally take out as soon as it lands in, it takes out the other opponent. So I'm finding the Daleks are more like the red pack.
Oh.
So if you play Magic the Gathering and you want to try to transfer or cross over into this game, depends on what color you play, or you can create your own deck and mix it up. If you like to play red and green, or you like to play different colors. What do you think, Mr. Morton? Are there different styles?
They are different. They are different styles. I think Cyberman is actually the hardest one to play, and actually, if you ask me, and basically master that one, I find it really hard, to be honest. And it's I would say not hard but challenging in a good way, because sometimes I feel like I think both the Silurian is also a little bit tricky, but Daleks is definitely why I think it's the best or the easiest ones to play in that sense. But what I really like is that you can mix it all, right? And I think once you nerd down into these free cards, all the free cards that we've done, you can really have some interesting combos, and actually don't need to spend any kind of money on it. Just have really good experiences. But if you want some of the other cool stuff and some of the other fun kind of like cards, then of course, like I said, you can acquire them really, really cheap in that sense, right? If there are something specific cards that you're after. And also in what we're doing now, implementing, is basically saying that some cards you can only get if like a reward if you're playing, like you know, and that's it, right? You can't buy them in packs. You can only unlock them by playing, meaning that suddenly you also have a low kind of like circulation of these ones. Then also they will be kind of like really cool as a collectible to have, but also kind of like we just want to reward people who basically also spend time in our game, right? So, but I still have a thing for the Silurian frame itself. I love that whole thing, and I can't wait until we are updating the Silurian frame.
Ooh.
Because already now it's looking amazing, but it's gonna be even better.
How many decks can you make? Is there a limit of how many decks you can make?
Right now, I think we put a limitation into how many you can actually do. We are looking into, again, kind of like how many should we allow people with the new gameplay also that we're doing, because it can be a little bit overwhelming coming in, and kind of like it can be hard to kind of like, and as a new player, understanding all this is kind of like you're already putting a lot of, I would say, not blockers in that sense, but kind of like, shit, that's a lot I need to learn already, and we want to reduce that and seeing that how can we actually have less card, but actually more fun, engaging, not kind of like a shorter gameplay, because if you really dive into this can easily be half an hour, right? So yeah.
Easily.
Dave's not happy.
No, that was happy. I'm the one who's supposed to be poisoning people, not you.
So Morton, would there be in the future a way where you can use your like burnt out legacy cards? So like if you wanted to play a friendly game, like as the Magic Gathering calls it, the kitchen tabletop games, where you just play with the cards you've got, or are you just going to have to like, well, I can't play with the cards, I have to order new cards and play with the new cards?
Yeah, we're gonna have in the new one also adventure modes and stuff like that, but basically also like decks that we are assigning you that you need to go through the different kind of modes and different kind of like stories with, or the storytelling, or a specific episode that basically we are replicating and just giving you the cards where you need to play them in the right order, or you can still go a little bit out of lore but still within the lore. So it's kind of like a combo with that one. So we're gonna have a ton of different kind of gameplays, because we want to basically make sure that you can also play this offline, because one of the things, I'm traveling a lot, like everybody here knows. One of the most annoying part is that most of the games today requires Wi-Fi.
Right.
And it is really annoying not to have a really proper good game that you could be entertained and play for hours offline. Like where you really want to dive into it. And I'm still missing that one. It's always too much hyper casual and kind of like not diving into maybe a little bit more lore and a little bit deeper into like there's a story and a storytelling and you are being educated, and that's what I'm really missing. Because it's really annoying. Just like, okay, play these what I call just stupid toilet games, right? 3 minutes and then it is toilet game. Like it's poop to earn, right? That's the new thing.
Not mention any sort of game studios where they're just like, you pay 3 minutes, you have to wait 24 hours to everything to reset again.
Yeah.
But it's a market. It's a proven market, and it's
a proven market, and it's always exactly, and it's always that balance between you need to still monetize, you still need to earn money, right? Because it costs a lot of money to run the servers, all these things. So of course there needs to be a monetization element into it. You can't just do it because you have blue eyes and because you want to save the whole world. So of course you need to earn money, right? That's just a fact. You can't do it for free. But it's a balance between how can you make it fun, engaging, but also not kind of like losing people along the way, because you're just saying that, you need to wait, like I said, cool down 24 hours, whatever. but we can still see it is still a proven model, like Melanie is saying, right? You know, I play quite a lot of Clash of Clans because I can still play it, even though it's an online game, but I can play some of the offline versions of it. But actually, even though sometimes it takes like 2 weeks or 17 days to upgrade a single building, I still come back, to be honest. Like, I still come back, like, kind of like either being a little bit intrigued to buy one of the boosters or something where it actually goes faster and all these kind of things, or what can I do and earn where maybe I can earn a little bit of gems so I can update it and upgrade it quicker and all these kind of things. But I'm still coming back, so I think it's also who you are as a player, right? So.
Okay, what is your favourite game of all time? Apart from
I'm basically trying just to speak because I know Dave is getting his ass kicked. So
right. I'm like,
on top of that, when we were talking about poop, I'm like, okay, I got to try one of my alerts, and well, it failed. So I'm like, no, I can't do my alerts in StreamYard. Because it would have gone.
Dave, is this almost going to be another 30-0 again?
I hope not.
Well, let's see.
I need to go back in because the one update more had killed all our decks, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of just did some problems.
Yeah, we'll blame that.
We are fixing that one, and again with the new TLV ones, they're all playable, right? So now you can mix. You don't have to take the free ones. You can actually mix. Oh, sorry for you, Dave.
Dave, we're supposed to be showing people how to play, not how to get your ass kicked.
Oh, this is a tutorial. This is a good
tutorial. Exactly.
This is how
for new players coming in. Yeah.
But the
Come join the game.
Okay, for anyone watching it, the main thing is about having fun and playing this game. It's a fun game.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually we haven't had in this one we don't have so much audio in because it's also been another part with BBC, right? Because we're basically tokenizing the library in that sense that the whole library, you need to discover that, find out with audio, what kind of audio lines, then you need to request and basically buy the license because where you go, all these kind of things, right? But what we're gonna have in basically in our gameplay is that if there is, again with the law, two characters meeting each other who actually has a history in one of the in the show, we have unique dialogue lines that we can actually replicate and show between these two characters when they meet each other on the board.
Oh, that's amazing!
Which
I love that.
Right? Yeah, that's why I really love that this IP has so many. It has such a depth to it, right? Because the character itself, they just like it's a whole universe, right? But also just the bringing audio in, where suddenly also you in the future I'm trying to look at how can I basically also let the user pick between different audio lines that they can actually buy and apply to their own NFTs. But it's a bit complex because it's all about IP rights and sound rights and all that. So it's a bit complex to do.
Well, Morton, if you do another deck, like the Silurians, Cybermen, and the Daleks, I really would love to see a unit deck. That's just my personal request.
Okay,
I'll remember. Started that question. I was like, he's going to say unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love my unit. It took him 18 minutes into this show before he asked that.
You finally got a hit on me! Yay!
Well, this is going to be the end of me.
Well, at least it's not 30.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
not a complete and utter blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, I managed to ramp myself up pretty quick.
It's like when I go to see a football game. It's like at least
give me one turn. Give me one turn. Give you one good hit, and then you can kill me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's like Bears playing Tampa, isn't it, Melanie?
Dave, I can tell you. I can tell you with our new gameplay, especially for mobile, is that no matter where you are, even at the last. Before the last turn, actually, right? You always feel like you have an opportunity to win.
I have to do one thing with the pigs that have come out.
Yeah.
Pig.
Pig.
In space.
Come on. No, don't do it. You can let me have like one.
Bacon.
You lose. That's terrifying. That's terrible.
All right. Does someone else want it? Mackenzie, can you share your screen?
What I was going to suggest, it might be worth, if we've got any people watching us, how to build a deck or create a custom deck. We've never done that yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Because
We can do that.
we see. So if you can see, right, if you go to like how to create a deck.
Where are you?
Collections. Yeah, there we go. And then
And who's streaming? Who's
Let's say
streaming?
who's streaming. We don't have a.
me.
But
Oh, we can't see it.
it's not on here.
Yeah,
no
no.
I'm the one. You haven't shared your screen yet.
Yep, I know. I was getting there.
So here we go.
It's
Okay.
all her secret stuff, Dave. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's all our cheat codes: up, down,
Yeah.
left, right, back.
Yeah, all that fun
Not
stuff.
Nintendo.
I sent you 2 pages, Mackenzie. Use them for God's sake. All the cheat codes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Only because I thought Christian was here.
Oh.
I wish.
Yeah.
If I knew it was Dave who was actually being punished, I would never have done it. So
Oh.
You would have given her worse ones, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, if you're watching this at the moment, you got your different like filters at the top.
Mm-hmm. Like
So ownership, not owned. And
We got a question there from Time Scales. Will there be new cards for Doomsday or like there were for Time Lord Victorious?
I can't reveal.
That's not a no, so we'll read.
Cannot
line.
confirm, but will
Yeah.
not deny.
Yeah, cannot confirm, cannot deny.
Oh, camera
That's
not
not a
working.
werewolf.
Camera not working.
So on your right hand side is where your deck is. Yeah, with your new deck. At the top, you can name your deck to whatever you want by pressing the edit button.
Yep. Up
So-
here.
Yeah, you just click on that and you can delete it to whatever deck you want.
Because
And-
of Dave, I have to name it that.
Okay, that's fine. And the number is how many cards you've got of that card at the bottom, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So you just click on card you want to add.
Exactly. And I tend to, just for myself, I like to play the Daleks and Cybermen. So I do like a mix of the two, but I don't like to have like the heavy, like Crucible Supreme. I don't like to have those big cards up. I prefer to play with, I like to be the annoying person that keeps just putting stuff out.
So we got a red player in a miss, Dave.
Huh?
Haste. We got a red player.
Yep.
Yeah. Where is there? Isn't there a spot where you can see like all Daleks, all Cybermen,
I
Oh,
think
shit.
that's that one.
and sets, and the free cards? Well, I guess go. Well, you could do like something if you wanted to add in, say these guys. You just click on them, and you can put all 4 of them in the deck there. So you have your 4.
Mm-hmm.
But if you use the search field, if you want, let's say Daleks, right? You can just type in
Yeah.
Daleks. Then you both have the frame, but you also
There
have
we go.
yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
So if you go back one, Mackenzie. So like if you can pick on the what's it, or which one is that? I can't see it. Well, now what's happened to your screen?
She's disappeared.
Did I just disappear or did my screen disappear? Oh, my screen disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is noir.
Huh, very
Yeah.
strange.
It's the cat. I
Yeah,
see
it's the
right there.
cat. It's totally the cat. Let me try stop sharing it and reshare it.
Okay.
Normally
'Cause,
works.
yeah, something broke. Something broke. We'll blame Twitch.
Just because we could see these beautiful sisters again. That's
Yeah.
the only
Yes.
Yeah.
that's the reason. Cat alert.
Did that work or is it still broken?
Oh nope, I see it. I'm adding to the screen now.
Yeah.
Right. So if you pick which one? The Emperor one. So if you click on that one, can you zoom it higher? Go into it. So at the top where it says 10, that's how much energy points it needs to play. So it's like if you're playing Magic, that'll be like your mana.
Yeah.
In this game, it's called Archon.
Artron.
Okay. For 4 is your attack points, and your 12 is your defense points. And the writing below it is basically what feature it does when it plays or when it leaves the field.
Yep.
Exactly.
So the smart thing would do is don't stack your deck with a lot of these, because it's going to take some time for you to build up your Arton to get to 10. So if you're like, I'm going to stack everything, I'm going to make my deck like super strong, you're like, well, congratulations, you can't play anything, because you're going to have to keep waiting turn after turn for that number to go up, and then you can do it.
Yep.
Some players
strategy on building your deck.
Some players like to think that the other person's getting another hand, and then we'll just whack out all the 10s and just literally bombard them. It depends on how you play the style. Like if you like the big and stomper ones, you have a few little ones, and you just wait until you just build up to 10. If you like Mackenzie, who likes low level hitters and just keep on getting them out there, so the other person's you just rushing that person. That's another tactic as well.
Yeah, it's fun to see how people have different tactics, right?
Yeah,
and how they play it.
And it's interesting. Like with this. For this game, I like to be the annoying person, just throwing things out. But if I'm playing Genshin Impact, Genius Invocation, I like to have heal cards. So I have a heal deck. So I have a completely different strategy based on what game I'm playing.
Okay.
Some cards replicate other cards. So if you got one card, you might be able to pull another one out, another one out, another one out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the life links or the health gen. So when one dies, another one will take its place.
Exactly.
So it depends on what style of gameplay you want. You need to read what each card does, and then you can do it from there. And I think the maximum you can have per deck is 50 cards.
Yeah. And you can also have ones like the first Cyberman. If you have one of those in your hand, as long as you have a second one in the deck, it will automatically pull it up. So it's similar to what you were talking about there, Candyman.
Exactly.
Let's see. And I like to have the pigs. You know, the pigs have to be in there too. They just so we can say bacon. Bacon.
The question is it brown sauce or red sauce in the bacon sandwich?
I have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
And is it?
Because
and
you people don't even have real bacon.
No,
Yes,
no. Denmark has. You know,
Denmark has real bacon, and we import it from Denmark.
Yeah, it's
you
the
have that
best
streaky bacon.
Streaky bacon's the best bacon.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I like the crunchy bacon.
Crunchy bacon.
See, I like the streaky bacon because then you make a BLT.
Yes, that's
You
what I
make
like.
a BLT.
You still do a
Any
BLT with crunchy bacon. Yeah.
You make a BLT with any bacon.
No, it's gotta be streaky bacon.
Yeah,
And it's gotta be the right amount of just like a little bit of grease on it, so that way it balances the fact that you're having lettuce and tomato, and that grease gets into the bread.
Yeah,
Man, I want a sandwich.
Bacon sandwich.
Num 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 num.
I'll send you some bacon, Melanie. I need to now because you definitely need to be educated.
Yeah.
Danish smoked bacon is
Educated.
the best bacon.
Educated in bacon. That's
Yeah.
I'll have all the bacons. It's kind of like the care package I'm making Mark. It's going to be nothing but different types of ranch dressing, so you can understand different ranch we have over here.
I need to make a new card where basically it's holding crunchy bacon in hand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Destroy your opponent by crunching the bacon.
And then when you're done, you just hit
It's like a
done.
Sonic thing. You're like,
Scare your opponent away by crunching the bacon.
Alert your opponent to your presence by the crunching of bacon.
And that's how you make a deck. So after you're done, you just hit done, and then you see your decks that are there, and you can change the picture, I think, too. But
Yes.
otherwise, you can just go ahead and just click on whatever deck it is, and you'll be able to see it, and you can make changes if you want. Otherwise, there you go.
Yep.
You press back.
Yeah.
Bacon. Change the photo to bacon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Damn, I want bacon.
And then when you create the match, so if you go back and start a match and show you how to select the deck you just create.
Mm-hmm.
So you go private match, you type in the match password. Streaky bacon rules. No, Danish smoked bacon rules.
I have no idea what Danish smoked bacon is. I gotta go on freaking Google. Hold on.
So then you just click on, in my case was womp womp.
Double smoked bacon. No, Danish smoked.
That's not right.
Okay, now wait a minute. That looks good.
It is good. It's not just good, it's fucking freaking good.
Yeah. I agree with the fat Viking.
Yeah. There's a reason for my nickname, Melanie. Bacon. I'm cursed, right? I live in a country that has so good bacon, actually. So I'm just doomed.
I make the joke that when people talk to me, I'm like, look at me. I'm like, does this body look like it was built on salad? No.
Did you
But
just
I had
swear
fun.
at me? Melanie? Did you just say
No.
the S words?
What?
Salad.
Salad?
Yeah,
Salads are
that's
good?
a swear word.
I do like salads though, but as a course. before the
Salad
before
is
the
a
meat.
swear word over there.
Dave, you join in?
I can.
No.
What was? Are we using our usual T TARDIS?
Yep.
Okay. I'll go to the window that I'm at.
Okay, can I actually get this stuff here? Wait.
Back. I was in the wrong place.
What's it
There
called?
we
The
go.
Danish? Is it? Oh, the Danish city in the US. It's called Solvang. I actually think you can get it there also. It's also a Danish baker or
Solvang.
bakery.
Oh, it's in,
Solvang, yeah.
okay, it's in California.
Oh,
So fun.
interesting.
Where in
Things you
California?
learn.
Let's see.
Is this me or Mark, or who am I playing against?
I'm looking for bacon, so
It's me that you're playing against.
Okay. Just making sure.
Because I'm having a problem with the Unity engine for some reason. It keeps on crashing when I'm running StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
And basically, I can either be on StreamYard or I have to cancel StreamYard and go into it. I don't know if there's a clash with port settings. I've turned off all the firewalls. I've done everything I know to need to do.
Interesting. If you, let's definitely try and look at that one, gentlemen. Just
That's really interesting.
need to investigate.
Yeah, it's literally every time. Like once I'm in the game, it's fine. It's just the Unity engine. When you download Reality Plus and you go opens up the engine, that's when it crashes.
Okay. It must be something with portals then,
Yeah.
or the different ports that it's.
And it's quite funny also. The exact cards I mulliganed, I got them right back.
Sucker!
literally looking at flights to Solvang. like what major airport goes at Santa Barbara? Okay.
Okay.
Melanie, how much are you going to spend on your trip to go get bacon?
Might be
It's
cheaper.
worth
I'll
it.
just send it to you, Melanie.
I think I might want to.
He's getting revenge now. He's going to poison me.
Yeah.
So, Morton, you've seen this game develop since day one.
Yeah.
From the alpha, beta,
Yeah.
and soon hopefully be gold or public release.
Yeah.
How have you found the journey?
I found it extremely frustrating sometimes because kind of like how do you build a game that has again the different kind of like players in it, right? You know, I think it's about finding a balance where you don't want to make it too easy, don't want to make it too hard. We were focusing a lot of kind of like finding that middle room between the Hearthstone and the Magic the Gathering to begin with. I think we over-engineered the cards too much with the card ability in the beginning, and I think that has kind of like that gave us the blowback basically with the Unearthly Origins. I think we put too many cards out there to start with in the first collection with 212, and then we had 5 cards with the Return of the Daleks, which was the special kind of like New Year's kind of like episode that came out. I think was it last year or the year before. So we've had too many cards, and actually right now that is why also it takes time to integrate all these back into this game, right? Because you can't just because you need to balance also the game itself, and suddenly you have 217 cards that you can onboard. You need to redo the card abilities, making sure how we're basically doing the release strategy, how we're integrating those, how we're making sure with the load balancing, what's it breaking. So it's not just like it needs to come in small batches. So I think that looking back, I should never have done it that way, but you always learn, right? But it has been an amazing journey, but also I can see from a community point of view, maybe frustrating because we've changed gameplay sometimes and gone in different directions, and maybe some things that we shouldn't have done from the beginning. But I think we live and learn. It's all about that we just need to be more transparent and make sure that people understand why we're doing these things, and just stand with that. You make mistakes, right? Often people try to hide them. I always said, if I do mistakes, I do mistakes. I don't want to try and hide them.
Yes.
So it's about just being honest about it, right? And this has been a challenge because I've been focusing so much on other parts, because now the team was hired, basically had more experience and skill sets than I have. So I could go back a little bit to scaling the company, because we not only just had Doctor Who, we also suddenly had FIFA coming on board. We were working with Pro Cycling. We were working with top Thunderbirds and so on, like big IPs. So my focus needed to be on other projects that also needed to be executed, but I could just see that again, BBC is our biggest flagship also, but coming back to making sure how do we then, because the whole thing suddenly changed where we were in full development, and suddenly this deal with BBC and Disney Plus came along, and kind of like we needed to rethink the whole strategy, because now we will have a worldwide audience. Is this then the right gameplay to take to kind of like mainstream, and where everybody basically would maybe be onboarded to try and to just try the game? Would this be the right game to launch? To launch basically to them, right? So that has been challenging. Also, how do we basically tell the community now what are we going to do? Show them this whole thing, making sure that we constantly have updates. It's just much more than. First of all, I also think that I didn't anticipate. Like it has been kind of like a really steep learning curve in a lot of these things. Positive, but still challenging in a lot of ways, which I wouldn't miss it for anything. But it has been a challenge, and definitely a lot of things I would redo if I could.
Because isn't it in the winter or the fall time that when your competitions are going to be releasing a Doctor Who card game?
Magic is releasing, I think so, some kind of like a pack or something that they do.
But that's only pack.
You got a whole commander set.
Yeah, it's only physical cards, right? They're not allowed with the IPs to do any kind of digital. Like we are not allowed to do physical cards, right? Which honestly sometimes can be super annoying, right? Why not? If we wanted to basically set the whole kind of like the whole design for this one, just set it free for basically people have it so they can print it on their own. Why not, right? But this is where IP sometimes is a little bit challenging, because somebody has the rights to it, and we're not seeing it as kind of like where we are violating the contract that we have. We're actually just saying that, but the users own them, so if they want to print them, they can print them, right? But we can't commercialize it in that sense, so we can't sell them as physical ones, right? The only thing I can hope eventually is that the market maybe will die out a little bit, so we can combine two IPs in that sense, or two licenses, so I can also have the license to basically do physical cards, because I still think there's a big market for that one. And I think with this one, and especially in the new one we can do, I think there is a really good market for that one because it needs to be fun and engaging.
Because I know the Magic Gathering's pulled out from PlayStation about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So I used to play Magic Gathering on the PlayStation with the Planeswalkers, but I think they moved to Xbox, or they just not done any digital game at all.
No.
But there's nothing on the PlayStation Network, anything close to the game like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's sad as like me mentally when you were talking about people can't print the cards. I'm sitting here going, well, what if you printed the frames, but you did that like in a 3D printer, so that you just actually have the frames printed, and that they can print their own cards and stick them
with
in.
a slot that would fit a generic card.
I'm saying is that would look. I wouldn't do it on a. I wouldn't do it in a PLA printer. I'd make it like on a. You have to use a resin printer so it's nice and smooth and pretty. No, I don't have 3D printers or have printed Star Wars armor.
Right, not at all.
I'm sorry, no. I don't go into a fandom and just jump right on in. I was like, oh, I wonder if you could put that in Cura and I could do that. And I'm like, oh, shut up.
But the biggest problem is biggest problem is to make the frames look really good in a 3D printer, right? You know, you can have the shape and you can have all that, but you can't have the lightning. You can have all the shapes and all that, and you know that's I think that's the only thing. We've tried to see how it would look like. I don't think the quality is good enough. You need to have really expensive 3D printers, even for them to just like be remotely kind of like looking okay. But it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, on the other side of it, if you did print them out grey, and then people could buy them as just like they said, you could put your cards in it, and they can paint them themselves, a bit like
it's like miniatures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a miniature.
Well, I've got a miniature painting show. I would totally put those on.
Yeah.
So they can either do it as your style, or if they wanted to do it, say for example, more gothic or more gory, then that's their choice.
Yeah, true.
Yes, you could do that.
And then you're not selling anything which is not like against your IP because you're just selling a base shell.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting.
In theory, someone can scale up a 3D print, and that could be a frame for a
you absolutely could.
Yeah,
you absolutely can. I've scaled up 3D little. I've scaled up stuff that's miniatures, and scaled it up and 3D printed it so that I can then cast it and res it. That would be my.
I would actually love. I think the only frame that actually looked really good would be Candyman. I actually think the Black Diamond frame, if you printed that one and could make that,
awesome.
I think with the you can actually make it look
glossy,
really cool,
shiny,
so. And especially if you scaled it up, almost like a picture frame, right size on your wall.
Print it. I don't know if you can see it. So I have a miniature that's you can't really.
Go ahead and solo yourself, Melanie.
Huh?
We're still in StreamYard. You can still do the same thing.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out. So you could do, if I can freaking do it. So I have a little miniature. So he's teeny tiny, so you're not gonna be able to tell. But it's my little dwarven cleric that I still gotta paint. But the whole thing was made in clear, so it's a clear acrylic. But then you paint around it your primer, so that way what you're seeing in gray is actually primer. But if you did a clear acrylic in that purple color, or another kind of color that's got that clear and everything, and then you primer over the ones that you want to be opaque, that's where you get your cards, and that's where you can get your two tones in there. Or at least see some kind of fun to it. Okay, we're going back to the normal one. Sorry, this is me going right into like the cosplay mode of wanting to make stuff.
So we created a new IP for you here, Morton.
Which one is this? Which one are you? Is it this one? Yay!
Yay!
No. Okay,
I was able to move her creature that was in front of my vampire here, and then do damage to him, killing him, and threw it a primeval Silurian.
Yeah, that was actually really good. I can't do anything. I can't move. Can't do anything.
I'm not all knowing, honestly.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just full of random useless information.
Oh, I mean, what
when
else
I need to know something.
You gotta be on that. You gotta be on your phone those 3 minutes doing something. I mean,
Actually, your name reminds me of one of the frame ideas we had for the Candyman frame we wanted to do.
Oh.
From the BBC, but we couldn't get the permission.
Aww.
Yeah, even BBC got in trouble with that.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. It was the all sorts.
Yeah,
thing,
Licorice
right?
All Sorts with Bassett.
Yeah, exactly. I really wanted
Yeah,
to do.
Pig.
I really wanted to do a Candyman frame. We would wanted to do it like what we call like a fuck up frame. If we did something like we just fucked up and then
Yeah.
just give it away as a reward frame.
Because
That
it's
Yeah.
free.
that would be the
Yeah.
Candyman frame, right? Here's a treat, right? So yeah.
Well, that's what the Traveling TARDIS has nicknamed me, the Candyman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because this man's like, I'm gonna send you some candy because you haven't tried such and such. I'm like, okay, here's my address. Go ahead, send it over.
Only
15 freaking, was it 15 kilos? 10 kilos? 5 kilos is 15 pounds?
15 kilos was one of them. I think 10 kilos was another one or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I didn't become diabetic and like just toes and just pop off. I do.
So where can I send in the private chat my address? Where's that?
Oh, we become pen pals on food now constantly. So that's it here.
You can just see the postman. He's just like sweating all over. Just not again.
Not again.
Another stream. I just know it.
Okay, it was all because of a brand called Smarties.
Oh, that's right. Because our Smarties taste like chalk and are disgusting. And I say our, the US.
Yes.
The UK and Canada has the big chocolate M&Ms on steroids deliciousness. And I had no idea what the heck you people were talking about. And I'm like, no. And then suddenly 15 pounds or kilos of candy show up in my door. And I'm like, well, this is fun. Like, oh, dear Lord. Although I sent you moon pies.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Moon pies and
So,
Tootsie Rolls.
Morton, do you have any chocolate in Denmark which is not available anywhere else?
Would you like some?
I have a thing, and I actually don't know if the brand is. I don't think it's worldwide. It's called Mabu. It's. Let me just spell it actually. So
Yeah.
see it. So where can I actually hear?
Curses.
Oh, let's see. I think I've heard of this.
It's so good. I'm just saying. This is the reason why 15 kilo on my end, Melanie, and that's just the chocolate. I'm just saying.
Wrong place.
And not including the bacon,
Yes.
Yeah, not
It's
including.
I screwed up.
Because whenever I see the packages
I
that say
wondered, I was
"damn"
like,
on them, I always
Yeah,
think it's
I
funny.
dropped that in the wrong place. Wait.
I wondered.
Yep.
Yes.
But I think this chocolate actually, Melanie, is only, or Candyman is only in Denmark, or kind of like in I think northern
We'll
kind of Europe.
just blame Melanie for that.
Is it just
So- He was distracted by the chocolate. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think I've seen that chocolate sold, oddly enough, at one of my Asian markets, and
Yeah, it
I've
might
seen
be.
it at IKEA.
IKEA also should. Yeah, I actually think they
They'll
have
have
it.
it.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, that was a big oops.
Yeah.
But you're down to 25, Dave. Is
Yeah, because I accidentally dropped my training ground into the wrong.
the wrong
lane.
lane. Oh.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't think he meant to do that. And then he says it.
Yeah.
I think, Mort, you have a question in the chat, and it's can
That
someone...
was the same. That was the same like before. I think so.
Oh, was before, and I didn't click
What,
on
which
it?
I couldn't tell, or I couldn't say.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, maybe they didn't.
Can you
know it
explain
for
the founder tokens? Or what about founder token holders?
Yeah,
Yes.
'cause
So
I was
basically-
talking about those last night.
Yeah, so the founders token, we wanted to create something where we had kind of like a unique asset on top of it, and because the Doctor Who is from 1963, so we were minting, basically had 1,963 founders token, and with the founders token also comes unique perks with it. First of all, you get, just to mention some of it, you always get 20% discount on everything that you purchase from the store itself. So that's guaranteed. Then you have commission-free trades also. So when you list something on the marketplace, you don't pay any kind of commission. And then we will airdrop you things in between in our founders token, especially in our channel at Discord. We you can kind of like can get into that secret channel where we also airdrop kind of like what I call the fat finger, meaning that any kind of like either an airdrop or simply just like revealing something that is coming that the rest of the community is not going to see until a certain point. So kind of like bringing them closer, which I think I was really just to brag, I was really good at to begin with. I think when I pivoted a little bit away from this, we basically didn't have a proper plan in place how to make sure that it kept going, and how do we make sure the community was kind of like onboarded, because we were also in this strange limbo between that we now needed to focus on the game and this one, but also needed to prepare this big kind of like move that we're doing now because of the Disney Plus and all that, which we're going to reveal very soon. We're going to announce with the community. So that's going to be that has been kind of like with the founders token, saying that we want to bring them back to where we really were at a certain point, where we constantly kind of like airdropped new frames, ideas, what's going to happen, what are we looking into, and all these things where they could also have a saying in it. And that's basically where the founders token are. And actually we did a fun kind of survey at one point where we asked them, you have all these unique perks and basically you get airdrops, and we can actually see the value at some point. The first one was sold for $250, then we had some for $500, and then the last one was for $1,000. We actually saw that we have airdropped more than, I think it was like $1,500 worth of packs and stuff like that.
Wow.
That is now going to be expanded with avatars. There's going to come a lot of kind of like new stuff into that one also. But it's about making sure that we have a better plan moving forward. How do we basically nurture these founders token, but also not making them, what you call it, kind of like divided a little bit from the community, in that sense that it can't be, it needs to be kind of like not, this is founders token, right? So you only focus on those. No, we actually focus on the whole one, but people who has a founders token, of course, we want to bring them closer so they can have a saying in some of the stuff. They can, get insights and all these kind of things. So there needs to be a little bit of there still needs to be a bridge between what I call the general community and the founders token. It can't be just like an elite. And I think that's the most challenging part, actually, to make sure how do we maintain both of them without some of them is feeling like left behind.
Right. So you're trying to make just at least a VIP experience without making alienating, anyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And of course, I want to, people who have it, right, are part of a special club.
Is it just you and me, Dave, playing, or is Candyman jumping in?
I'm going to try and jump in.
I'm gonna attempt it.
Do you want him, or do you want him to beat me, Mackenzie?
Well, I beat you twice. I don't know. Do you want me to beat you a third time?
Oh my Lord! I clicked on mine somewhere. I'm trying to get in.
Whoever gets in first gets to whoop on me some more.
Yay! Oh, it kicked me off.
I swear I'm better at this sort of thing than
you are. Really good. You normally beat me. I don't know. I'm just having I'm having good luck here because I'm having horrible luck in Genius Invocation right now. I'm having horrible luck in there.
Right. Is it?
I blame Ahoyo for that because they have their new thing right now is they have this new patch that has a storyline, and they gave you a random pack with random cards that you've never ever seen ever before, and then you're supposed to win, play them and win. And I'm like, what does this card do? What does this card do? Where are my food cards? I have no food cards. Where are my food cards?
So my question to you guys actually would be, what kind of function, or what would you really love to see in the game itself? When we're talking about Doctor Who and kind of like not only just speaking to Doctor Who audience, but how would you, what should we try and do as a game in order also to appeal to a wider audience who maybe doesn't have the Doctor Who history or lore?
A way to deal with the trackpads because I can't right click on cards.
Yeah, Timescale says I like to see a gameplay tutorial online. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I like. I almost want to go into, because I have multiple accounts on being a streamer, and sending you some, because you were saying that you're having some issues with the AI, trying to figure out how to get an AI to work really well. I think maybe you might get some ideas from Genius Invocation, because that's one thing that MiHoYo does really well, is they have a tutorial like what Timescales is having there, and then they have an AI that you go on and you can go against, and then you can have any type of cards. They have cards that are just as complicated as this game, so that might help if I do some recordings for you. And I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing and get my butt kicked there. But it was like where they made their errors is they did a similar thing with the cards, with them being unbalanced. The difference was the game was already live, and then they just updated the game and didn't tell anybody. Oh well, we made a mistake. They just updated it, and so a number of people decided, hey, we don't want to play that game anymore in it, because all the cards have now totally changed, and so the game has totally changed. So even knowing it being an error on your part, I think you guys did the smart thing by having it in beta when that all happened versus going live and then like changing all the cards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely would look into that.
I'm going to jump out
I'll make some recordings for you, because I have actually part of that event still going on. So I'll make some recordings for you.
Because I think it's
eating it. There's an answer for you there, Morton. Make it easier to stream.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Yeah, but that's also where that's why also the pack opening sequence and basically the whole thing, we are looking at it from a streamer point of view, kind of like, I think looking at some of the recent games we've seen Marvel Snap now, right? I'm actually surprised that we're not seeing more people streaming it. With the amount of players actually playing it, I'm kind of like, why is nobody actually streaming it? Like,
I have wondered that myself, because I've gone on Twitch and looked on the channel, and I mentioned the guys in here saying, nobody's streaming this game. It befuddles me, and I'm thinking that part of it might be because it has no AI. Because whenever I try playing it, and if they're not available from Traveling TARDIS, I don't have anybody to play with. So if there's no AI, I go on and I give it maybe 5-10 minutes and nobody connects, and I just close the game out. So maybe that's part of the reason, is that there's no. So I really do. I think in this case, MiHoYo might be able to help with how they've done it with theirs. And that will solve that problem.
Yeah, no, and the other part of it is, Mackenzie, Mark, Christian, so many of our people have had a heck of a time trying to process, to physically be able to stream it has been a massive problem for a lot of our team.
Oh yeah, I didn't really have a problem with streaming it, but I did have I had a problem with the update, and I actually said, I was like, can you guys make this like MiHoYo? It's like I even said a comment like that, because on mine it said like there was an update, but it was on a screen where it didn't show where how long the update was, how big it was. It just said, put this update and don't close this window. So I'm like, okay. 2 hours later, I'm still waiting for it to update, and it had an update. I'm like, well, how long is this thing? So it had frozen, and I hadn't even known that.
That's not good. That's not a good experience at all.
Yeah.
But I know this is something that the team are looking into, exactly how we can do with streaming much more.
Yeah.
I mean, once it gets onto, like, if I can hook my tablet up. Like, there are ways to make it work.
Yeah.
Once it's easier to do it not on board the same device.
Yeah.
But.
So there's Mark. He's here. So I'll just keep popping up his chats. But yeah, because I have mine here, and that's why I keep looking over to get mine working, because it's easier for me to be on two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and just this. My old Mac doesn't want to be nice anymore. He says he is playing a custom pack.
Oh.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Come on, Dave.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, YouTube has now kicked us off because of the music. Or, I mean Twitch. Even they're like, but it was real music. It wasn't an IP kind of music. They're like, no, it was bad, so we just stopped. And they're like, oh,
nah,
sorry.
they give you like 10 seconds of wiggle room there. And then like with me, I actually have mine. I have a setting that say, if you find something that's copyrighted, take this VOD down automatically. Just that way I don't have to worry about any of that.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh,
there is ways like
12.
on Twitch where you can use like an audio splitter. So let's say you're playing something from Spotify that is copyrighted. You can do it so it doesn't show up on your VOD. But I'm very leery of doing that simply because I have some friends who are partnered with Twitch and they've done that and they've got the copyright strike because somebody that they didn't know went into their stream and then reported them to Twitch. And because they were live, they got the copyright strike.
There's people who go on that they're paid to do things to like that. I mean, there's people who are on the I would say that they're from the studio or the record, the larger group. The terminology is failing me right now. But from that kind of the people who own a lot of music rights and stuff and say, okay, your job is to go on here and just start finding stuff.
Yeah,
because logarithms and all that kind of fun stuff aren't going to always find everything.
Oh yeah, that actually reminds me, like the commercial that we have for Binge Watchers Guide. That song actually and the channel got hit. Traveling TARDIS got hit, I think 3 or 4 times for copyright on that, and I have a license for that particular song, so I had to contact the company. Because it was a third party that marked it, I had to contact the company that was in, I think, Australia or something like that. And it took me like 4 different attempts to contact them before they finally fixed it. And I was like, it should not have been that hard. I should have been able to just, put something up here. Here's a license. There's a number. Here, blah, blah, blah. Here's the paperwork. That should have been easy to do, but they didn't. It made it so complicated. So for me, when it comes to music, I use an Envato or Envato. And a lot of the music there, they have a license that you download, and they have some of the artists on there. They'll actually have a website you go directly to, so it'll have a download that says in the license. If you have a problem with one of these third parties that mark you, just go to this website, upload this, and you're done.
I guarantee you, at some point, Google/YouTube is going to just make its own kind of thing to be like, look, just go to this company, and which is their own, and they're buy your music from them. I mean, supply and demand. They
YouTube does have a library. YouTube has a music library.
I'm saying that now they could even. I could see that they can monetize it. If there's an opportunity to make money, I will help find it, and we will get it. Sorry, that's the business side of it.
My normal live theme song keeps getting. I don't get a strike, but it gets unable to monetize. Not that I have enough people to monetize, but it shouldn't, because I actually do have that license and that permissions. It's like, come on.
But if you're thinking blockchain a little bit in this one right now, and it get nerdy, but if actually you're thinking, if you are your rights to, if you have a license and a right to it, if you are minting that as an NFT coming from an official company, then it's all about that the channel itself would query because in this case you will be logged into your profile anyway, right? So your wallet, you could basically just query saying that, do you have the NFT that is basically issued that is this music, or basically is the underlying asset? And if you don't have it, then they could shut you down. If you have it, then you have paid for it, right? Because it can query the original smart contract and actually see, is it actually issued by, let's say, Universal Music or whatever who it is, right? So if you have a copy NFT that is basically giving you the license to stream this one, then it's a simple, it's just a scan of the system, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's about how you set it up so it can be sold.
Exactly.
Instead of then Mackenzie needs to again query to, I have the rights for this one, because, again, ask a company in Australia, right, where basically, you shouldn't have all this trouble. It should just be, this is my right? And actually the NFT with the transparency and the blockchain could prove that I actually have this one. It's actually been issued by the original smart contract
And that way it's
meaning-
centralized, so that way they can go
Exactly.
here. That's the point of the authority on the subject.
Exactly, and then basically Mackenzie can say that I'm not using it anymore. I can actually sell this to a third party or somebody else. They can take over, so it's the same rights, so they can still use it. Then Mackenzie just can't use it anymore. Right?
Yeah.
But you can pass it on, right? Instead of maybe
Exactly.
you don't know what company to go to, but basically they can just pass it on, and maybe it's increased in value because there's only going to be X amount of licenses and all these kind of things. So yeah, it can be solved and it can be monetized.
And it also can be frustrating. Like I can think of like The Last of Us. Like that game has been out for years, but when the TV show came out on YouTube, there were certain songs that even if you were streaming the game, you got a copyright violation because that song just happened to be in the TV show. And
HBO got it now.
Yeah,
they're like, we paid for this.
Yeah,
nobody else is using it.
So you had
and
to
Naughty
go
Dog's
and
going,
edit your video, and you had to edit out that part so that you could still have your video up on YouTube, or you would get the monetized thing.
Yeah, I can see Timescales is actually writing. I write my own music for YouTube, and I had unknown copyright claims on my own original music.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening to people.
And I won 100% of every copyright challenge on YouTube. You just have to fight it, and that's the problem, right? You know, some people know how to fight it, but a lot of people don't know how to fight it. And actually, it can seem like if YouTube is saying it, most people just say, "Oh, they must be right?" You know, again, and how do you counterclaim these kind of things if you don't have the energy or kind of like the know-how? How will you fight against it, right? So I think that's also where it can be helped. Technology can help in this case, right? Because basically YouTube could just say that, okay, fine, but if you don't have this and this, right? So yeah, it's interesting actually.
Yeah, my a friend of mine keeps getting hooped by Instagram. They keep saying, "Oh, well, you need to do the thing, and you can't have that. It's got to be branded content." No, this is my original painting. I'm just that good.
He said he screwed up there. So,
No, just debating what I wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Candyman was saying that he screwed up.
Oh, Candyman.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did.
I think he just didn't attack there. But
it wasn't a case of putting in the wrong row.
He's thinking right now. Oh,
yeah,
he was thinking. It's like, nope, pass.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's Dave gonna do?
Oh gosh! Remember when we first started playing this game and what was it? Was it who? It wasn't Tom, was it? That kept saying attack, and we kept yelling at Christian to attack because he kept forgetting.
No, that was the same time. Well, there was a few of them. That was probably happening. But what rings to my memory with you saying that was the same time he was in there and he was playing against other members of the Worlds Apart community. And they were in there yelling, attack, because he wasn't sure what to do. And we kept find out. And the weird thing was that was the episode that he ended up beating the guy.
Yeah, and got that founder token.
The man who everyone in the chats was helping him, and we're all shouting attack, and he's just like, I'm like, stop talking. You're looking up at this because he tends to look up when he's talking. And I'm like, stop looking up. You need to and he passed.
Because he says his camera's up, so he keeps looking up. And it's like, but we don't see that. We just see a chin.
Yeah, because everybody in the community was yelling. Both people who work with Reality and Reality Plus, and just in the community, we're all on there and just having fun watching. Okay, let's see if he can beat our boy. And don't know. I don't know how he did it. Especially just, again, people are just like attack. Why aren't you attacking?
And speaking of attack, but this is like one of Christian's like bad segues. Thank you to Panda for the lurk. So there, I pretended to be Christian and do a really bad segue.
There you go.
Hey.
Wasn't very nice.
Oh, that was a mean one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, one thing I know we have at least this month and in the end of September. There's a couple Doctor Who specific conventions going on.
Okay.
And the next week, there's the big one, the last big one in Huntington, Alabama. So that one I know we're at least attending virtually. And I can say, and I'm sure Kirsten wouldn't mind, but we can at least maybe plug Doctor Who Worlds Apart there, because I think that's a good market, is just to find all those small Doctor Who conventions and go, okay, maybe they're not gamers, but let's leverage the fact that we've got the property, that you've got the IP for Doctor Who, and get those people in. So at least you can start onboarding new people that way.
Yeah. That would actually be a real good question for me to ask my friend Aaron, he's an Australian. I don't believe that he's a Doctor Who fan, but he loves this. He loves watching us play this game.
Now that one's next week. It's the week after. It's in June, but I know I've got another one in Long Island that's in up in New York that I'm going to.
But they might not be. But Melanie, they might not be gamers. But if I put Garen Gillan in front of them, saying that challenge me, I will play games.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. They will play games.
They will
all be gamers.
There will be 4-hour long lines.
Absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
The PAX conventions would be good too, because those are mostly video gamers, but they also have a lot of board gamers there as well.
Yeah. Well, what about Gen Con? I mean, you and I are both going to be there.
Yeah. Gen Con's massive. Gen Con's expensive for basically what would be a demonstration, but not the only time they've done it. Hey, stop that. I don't know what you just did, but I don't like it.
I know, because I was going to bring some XLG stuff to Gen Con, because I'm like, well, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be in Author's Alley. Might as well plug XLG while I'm out there.
It could be interesting from you guys if you can compile a list of events, small and big. It really doesn't matter, but just purely just Doctor Who related.
I can do that.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that.
Because then we can basically plan a tour where we just go around and can do a lot of stuff actually with that one. That could be quite fun to do.
Yeah,
because even then, it's your market. You're going to your demographic. You're going to the Doctor Who people. So that's the way you pull in. And because it's going to be smaller cons, your overhead's not going to be as crazy high. So yes, you're gonna, buying a table, doing demos, trying to, talk to them, getting a panel. You're not having the steep overhead like any of the bigger gaming conventions, or like a San Diego Comic-Con or something, where yes, you have your turnstile is going to be 150 to 300,000 people, but you don't know whether or not they're going to come to your table. Maybe hitting these ones that are around 2,000 to 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Your engagement rate is going to be a hell of a lot higher.
Yeah.
And they might at least have a couple of the laptops ready to go. I'm like, come on, I'll show you how to play. Let's go.
Yeah. And just having something like that. We had, I don't know what company
I'll make you a
it
list
was.
for it. I'll send it to Warren.
When I do Motor City Comic Con, which attracts a lot of Doctor Who fans, even though it's not like Doctor Who centric. But we just recently had somebody who came around with like this, it was like a 3D dimension type of game, and he said there was only like 2 games out there like that, and it was really popular. So even that might even be an idea. It's just going there, and heck, I'd be happy to partner out there, because that's what I do. I dress as a doctor. I put all my stuff out there as the doctor, and it tracks people there.
True.
So it definitely works.
I mean, you do have a lot of the people who do the tabletop gaming at those main I know I saw one just at Star Wars Celebration, again, Star Wars, so everything's licensed and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also a big point for you if it's a smaller again, I'm going like maybe a 5,000 head count, 10,000 maybe. The fact that you are licensed, that can even push more of the wait a minute, this isn't just fan made, this is created. It ensures that you're going to get that table space, and it's going to ensure that you get a panel. Could even do Gallifrey 1.
That's what I was thinking.
Big one.
Yeah, Gallifrey 1. I was thinking Gallifrey 1, Chicago TARDIS, and Li Who. Those are really the big ones. Yeah. And I can
Li Who I'm going to, because my uncle lives down the street.
Awesome.
I got free boarding.
Awesome. I would like to go there. I just don't know whether my wife got time off or not. Or otherwise, I'd be like, because there's something that's going on there that Well, we had talked about on a previous episode with their CEO, who he's connected with Chicago TARDIS. So it's like those are both one and the same kind of in a way, even though they're in two different locations. It's like seems if you can get into LA Who or Chicago, you got both right there.
Does Who North America, which is the huge, biggest Doctor Who store,
they have Doctoberfest. Doctoberfest. They're going to have Sophie Aldred there, and that would be a place too to go to because they're one of my partners.
Yeah,
interesting.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. In fact, doing that because I could easily demonstrate it there because I'm planning on being there anyway.
What the heck is Karen Gillan's convention schedule?
Where is she? Or even get Caitlin. Yeah, I just.
Sorry, I'm like clicking. Oh, I think she's. Oh, Karen's going to be at Motor City.
Oh, she is.
She was.
I'm looking at an old one.
Yeah, the last one.
She'll be at Awesome Con.
It was Karen, Alex, and Matt and Arthur. We had all of them last October. So we're always this one we had Catherine Tate. So it was a bit smaller, but there is going to be another convention in November, and I just have a feeling because it's in November, there's going to be somebody Doctor Who there. It's going to just be common sense. They're going to bring somebody.
Yeah, they have to.
Well, we just had Pensacon, which isn't a big, holy, huge convention. It's actually a convention in the Panhandle of Florida. It's Alabama. It's so right there on the line. But they had 16 Doctor Who actors and had including Eccleston, and so you had new Who and old Who. So that's when you really start deep diving of okay, where are all the Doctor Who people showing up?
Yeah.
Awesome Con. No, that's way too soon.
That's why I started going to like different ones because I started looking at where do the Doctor Who fans living in the Midwest? I'm like, where the heck do everybody go? And then find my niche was in Motor City. That's where I started at. And then Grand Rapids is another one that they don't really bring in the big stars, but they bring in the traffic, and they're more like Gen Con when it comes to their type of people that show up there versus Motor City. So it really depends on like what type of target audience you're looking for. If you're looking for more like the gamer, Grand Rapids might be one to even look at. They have one also in November, and they're very good to their exhibitors and vendors. They're very good. They for example, for what happened this past year, for this past April, which was just like, really? So they had this venue, they had already scheduled everything to that was going to be in Grand Rapids. And that venue got sold to another company. Well, they're thinking, okay, we already have that area bought for our convention. Well, the company that got sold to tore down the building, just tore it down.
Oh, that's not.
So they lost their venue. So like, where the heck we're going to go? So they went to Kalamazoo.
Oh Lord, he's here.
Oh no. And being that it was a convention that in an area that close to Grand Rapids, they ended up getting extensions so that it didn't matter where you were in the building. You would be able to guarantee to have Wi-Fi, or so you wouldn't have to pay that extra, and it was free to get for us being in our Author's Alley. Now, like with Motor City, they have the Suburban Hotel or building is actually built for Motor City. But the Wi-Fi there is so unreliable. You end up spending half the time walking out the door trying to get connected because it's just so unreliable, even if you buy it.
Hey, Christian.
Hey.
On the as our conversation about cons go, do you still have a link to Awesome Con now, or was that old? That's an old link.
No, Awesome Con. Ben owns Central Florida Comic Con. He also has a link to Awesome Con, but I don't know if he has like say in Awesome Con.
Because that one's, I know, that one's in a few weeks, but I'm looking at their Doctor Who roster, and there's going to be a shit ton of Doctor Who fans going to that.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that for Mort, in case there's a way for them to get Doctor Who Worlds Apart, a table, something like that, to demo game, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's Billy Piper and Christopher Eccleston and Karen Gillan and. Let's see. There was a lot.
I think Jodie
Whittaker
is going to be
Jodie
there.
Whittaker was one of them. So it's a lot of people. Where you're like, Doctor Who fans are gonna go there.
Yeah, if they're gonna go there, we can do something big over there, right? It's just like
the only bad thing is it's
Florida. Come with the Florida more.
I know.
You need strategy, Christian. He has to be here for a reason. Or I'm thinking sales and
we already established the reason is
ROI, baby. ROI.
The galactic
bacon and chocolate.
Bacon.
Yeah, bacon.
Okay, I'll throw ROI out of the window and just go right to bacon.
I just want them to come down here. So everybody, the reason why I wasn't here earlier, I want to wish my mother a happy 71st birthday.
Yay!
And she loves the rolls over at Logan. Texas Roadhouse. Sorry, Texas Roadhouse.
Little bread rolls.
Little bread rolls.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you get her good and drunk?
No, she don't
party
drink.
like a sit. Just what? Okay.
She no drinky.
Okay.
I found out I do.
My mom drinks it like when she hits a third drink. My mom's like, "I need to stop." I'm like, "I know, Mama, but you're 77 years old. Just keep going." Like, I'll drive you home. She's like, "You know what? Yeah, give me another Rum and Coke." I'm like, "Good woman."
I gotta update the reality launcher.
Yes,
so that might take a minute. So, Mort, when do I get your card, dude? I know that Trump, I played the card and Trump's everything, right? Hey, timescales. Yeah.
I'm working with basically just with a card that basically just like if I'm losing, I'll just throw the Fat Viking card and then win everything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Just needs kind of. That's how I will become undefeated in this game.
I swear.
Oh, and for those of you who are
you need to hold a bacon sandwich.
Yes.
For those of you who are skeptical about logging in and out of Worlds Apart, I've been doing it religiously as best I could, and I managed to get one of the drip packs for it was almost a BOGO. So I've been doing it daily now. So I had enough Pandex to do it. So yeah, you go in there, do it once a day, go visit, play around, check out the website, Doctor Who Worlds Apart. I'll even give you my link so you can play the game. And the game you can play for free. Banner's still there.
The Blood Eagle. Yes, exactly.
Oh, no, it's not going to be. Hang on a second. And timescales. Well, congratulations, dude.
Oop.
There you go.
Oh, hello, King Tuts.
Hello,
King Tuts.
We are doing Doctor Who Worlds Apart, and we've even got the CEO of the company to put it out there.
Yes.
Reality Plus.
Yeah.
Sitting there in the middle of all those pictures.
So any questions?
Did Tangerine Games get in touch with you, Tut? I passed your info on, so I hope they got in touch with you there.
I'm not sure actually.
Hey, you got a party going.
I actually bought a drip. I bought a drip pack. I bought both drip packs. And
fantastic.
I did that because they came with the bonus packs, and I definitely want to get those bonus packs too. So I was happy to do that. But I want to unpack mine. I guess we can do that.
Christian using the referral code.
And I actually airdropped you also some of the new packs also.
I saw. Thank you so much.
I think we need to open those packs when we're streaming.
Yeah.
Do not open packs while not, streaming. Make sure that we're
we're gonna open them when we're streaming.
Pushing off the fat but making love and making sure we're content producing.
Exactly.
Like, look at this.
Okay, it's update. I'm still updating my reality engine, so still got time.
Dave, he's answering you with no, they haven't. I figured it would take some time.
Okay, I'll open.
Yeah.
Well, if my alerts were working, because if I was using something other than StreamYard and I was using OBS, I would be playing my WOMP right now.
Now, I
don't
David
move from player 46.
I forgot who I was talking to, Mark, but somebody was kind enough to help me establish how we could play because I was playing the game on the same computer as well as running the StreamYard, and that just completely throws it into a tizzy. And I forgot. Gosh, I want to thank him for it. He managed to do it. What I did was I had two screens, and if I played the game on the other screen, I can get away with running StreamYard. It still throws everything off a little bit, but it was better than it kept crashing. Everything kept crashing, and I had to reboot and all that.
So do you mean no tabs, but you pulled the tab out and went to a completely different?
Yeah, what you do is I opened one Google account is running the StreamYard, which is my main Google account.
Okay.
And then I open another site which goes onto the separate screen, and that's where I play the game. And then when I say load it up,
so food for thought for people who are watching. That way they know if they're having any type of if they're doing any type of streaming themselves with Doctor Who Worlds Apart, to know two screens will give you the best practice. That's your best practices being shared.
Yeah, because one thing, I only have a single monitor, and one thing that I noticed is anytime I tabbed out, the screen went black. So I noticed that several times happened tonight.
Yeah, because your processor is going like, what am I doing? It's supposed to be only lifting 100 pounds, and you're throwing 250 on it at the same time. And it's going like, I'm just going to ease up on it. And then, Mort, I'm sorry, he was part of your team, and he was such a sweet guy. And he should have just said, well, put it on the other screen. I'm like, oh. Now, it was still, like I said, the Wi-Fi, everything was balling out, but you can still play it now.
Sharing some love here with another YouTuber here, the Timescales. They had opened up 50 Worlds Apart card packs here. So take a look-see at that and go see 50 packs worth. Unfortunately, it's not a clickable link. So I'll just keep it up for you a little bit longer so that way you can write those upper and lowercase alphanumerics down. But 50 cards, 50 packs. That's not 50 cards, it's 50 packs. So you're going to see a ton of different frames, a ton of different cards. You're going to see some amazing art. You're going to see a lot of things that you probably can build and all that kind of fun stuff. Really so again, go check out the Timescales and give them some love to see all the amazingness that they're going to show on YouTube.
Congratulations on your mom being 81. My mom's just 10 years away and 1+ day now. So
wow.
Yay.
It's still loading up the reality engine. I managed to win into the play screen. I'm going to try to see if there's anything. I can hear it coming up. There we go. It's slowly coming up.
Security fog.
It is some of the things we're looking into, Christian. There's some of the things we're looking into, how we can, the whole streaming, how we can enhance that.
I would just love just like if we could get. You were mentioning earlier, I could hear you from the restaurant at some point. But I was like, "Would be great if we could get like Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann playing each other or something like that."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like for like you could even do it like for a charity event. Even doing that would be so much fun.
Good game.
Yeah. Or
I do wonder.
I'm in. Wait! I want to play.
Could we facilitate some of the monster actors
who
to play?
wants to, if it's okay?
Can you share your screen? Are you able to share a screen, Christian?
I'm sure I could.
Okay, see if you can share yours, because Mark can't.
I will give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah. Otherwise, one of us has to do it, which is also fine.
Yeah.
Melanie hasn't played yet.
Yeah, my computer went to sleep over there. Could we possibly facilitate some of the monster actors to be playing this? Because we have Richard, we have maybe even Simon wants to play. I mean, he's not really a monster actor, but you know what I mean. But other the actor in the pool that we have playing a little bit, because I know.
We have one of the Cybermen. I actually think we have one of the Cybermen in our community also. One of the actors.
Maybe John Davey, because I know he's.
That's
really
what I was thinking. John Davey, yeah,
might be John. Because Richard Ashton. He was an ice warrior. Trying to think of other ones that have been on that maybe could even play as that particular pack.
Yeah, that would be.
You know
cool.
what I mean? That might be a little fun thing that we could probably try to organize.
That would be awesome. Cybermen versus Ice Warriors.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We
Oh,
have
God.
something like that.
You know, you can even do like for a charity, or you could even like gain somebody, like if you have an actor in there playing, they could even like have a prize of say, I don't know, like something similar to the Founders Token, where you get an autograph or something, you know, something to that sort.
Well, we did the Monster Mash game. We just donated to a charity of their choosing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually, you know, what's your favorite charity? We will donate X amount, and here play.
Yeah, or maybe like similar to like the Pandex, where you give away Pandex or decks of somebody's choosing. I'm thinking of things like this because with XLG, we do giveaways in our community, and that's a lot of times we do that with like a Steam key, or we'll give a copy of the game. So something similar to in that case.
I would I would do that as a random item for people who are engaging in the chat.
Yeah.
I think Christian needs to rebuild his decks. or grab one at least.
Before I just start playing the game, you asked what you can improve. One of the things I did notice, mainly on your website, there are loads of frequently asked questions, but it's not technical question. The technical is just like you go straight to an email address. So I wonder whether there's more. You need more technical support or more stuff to show.
Wait a minute.
In what you think about, like in FAQ, like technical
FAQ or more support.
No, I think the issue is always about when we're talking about support, right? Some things is fairly easy, some things is more complex and take longer time. It's definitely the support hasn't been great in that sense. Then we're trying to see how we can improve it. We have some other new ways, basically with the live support. We have a team that we're going to onboard who can manage that whole thing. But we have a general kind of like where we need to make sure that when people either raise a support ticket or they raise a question inside the Discord community or wherever they're raising it, how do we make sure that the question is being addressed to the team and also being answered back, and when can they expect to have an answer back? And again, if it's either a suggestion or it is a real support case, then we need to address it, right, and come back with it. It's been challenging. Like really, really challenging, because we can see just with, especially when we're talking about blockchain, people taking out the assets, basically deposit them back into the system. They're not doing it the right way. Then we need to manually do it, and it just takes time. And it is a little bit time consuming. But we now have, with the live support, we have planned out would be covered in this whole thing.
Open challenge to anyone who wants to join in on this game.
I joined in.
You did?
Yep.
Okay.
I saw your private message, so I joined in.
Excellent.
I will be in a minute. It's just I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever the update did whatever the update did took a card from each of my decks. That's why it wasn't showing. So I thought that was weird.
Right. I
appreciate because I know you've been with me almost all day, so I appreciate it. Because I'm almost 2 hours away from 12 banger here.
That's normal for a gamer, isn't it?
No, right. Not at all. That would be normal for like people who are partnered.
No, thank you. That just sounds like me on a normal work day. No.
Yeah.
No, Vista. Well, I was including also commute time. But
More.
No.
Yeah.
I have a question. If it's showing up in your or is it still in your
Who's breaking up?
Christian, you are breaking up like crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely bandwidth issue.
Yeah. Christian, if that was a sentence, it was not. Yeah, it's not working.
Right, Morton, I'm just going to put the response I got from me sending a request today, an actual response I've got. So that's like what you expect.
I'm gonna have to take my stop. I think.
Yeah, that's an automatic reply that you're gonna get back.
Yeah. Best to stop.
It's just right when it says send desk and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. We have Zendesk integrated into the system because we had set up that auto reply, because in the beginning there wasn't actually a reply, so people didn't know the support ticket was received or not. That's why we set this up. So you should get a response basically quite quickly with this one, unless it's super complex. But at least it should come back to you.
Yeah, I was just testing what I can do and what I can't do, because when I was training, I was doing a lot of beta testing for like other companies.
Yeah.
So like playing around with, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I break it?
Which is what betas want.
Yeah. Well,
developers want during a beta, like, please break this thing.
That really makes me laugh, because I'm a web designer also, and the host that I go through, their tech person goes, "You're a really good person for web design." I said, "Why is that?" They go, "You know how to break everything on our system." I've talked to their tech so much. I've been like, "Okay, it's me again. I did this, and this is what happened."
I used to work for one of the largest electrical retailers in UK and Europe. And eventually I ended up in software support for like call center. But amount of time I broke their own software and kept on breaking it and showing where the bugs were, what the bugs were, what the result was. And the web devs absolutely hated me after a while.
I wanted an easy day today, damn it.
Yeah. I'm glad, at least for tomorrow's stream, I left the hardest game that I could possibly be playing tomorrow.
One of the things in the actual gameplay, which I would probably prefer, is when you lay on card. This is something from Planeswalkers. You can click on the card, and the card will expand, so you can actually read the actual thing, what it actually does before you play it.
Yeah.
Like, so it's slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Or if you played it, you can click on it and then it'll appear bigger. So you know what I've just done is the right way, or no, I made a mistake. I need to fix it.
That's
once you put a card down, it's very, very hard to see what it actually does again.
True.
That's actually one of the things in Genius Invocation they do have. So there's another example here.
Especially if
you mean like if you would be able to scroll over it and all of a sudden it's kind of like a magnifying glass kind of going, oh, that's what that's there.
So like in the 3.7 patch right now, they have this challenge that you have to play against your AI and with a complete deck that you have new cards that you've never ever seen before or played. And so you're like, okay, what does this card do? Oh,
yeah, especially for like people who are not used to this game. So now once Dave goes back on his go, he tries to click on the Triceratops. Yeah. It's late in the morning. It must be late for you, Morton. It must be about 3 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus, Mort, what time do you have to be at work tomorrow?
In 1 hour, 50 minutes.
Are you going to sleep? Do you need to sleep?
Maybe
this man's like,
he's Danish. He doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
He's Viking.
He'll catch up on it later.
Yeah, Viking. It's the Viking blood in him. He's like, we just let it ride. We're good.
Exactly.
He's a Viking and an old school gamer.
We'll just pillage somebody on the way, right? And then energy refilled.
Man's gonna go to a convenience store, but like, give me all of your monster.
So if Dave now wants to go on and click on his Triceratops, he can't do anything about it. He can't see what the card does.
No, because I don't have. I'm just on a trackpad.
But yeah, even if you right click on normal Windows, you can't do it.
No, but that will come. That is being fixed.
Okay.
I'm terrible. I'm trying not to yawn because I'm sitting here going, I'm tired. And I'm like, it's 9 o'clock.
What do you mean you're tired? It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I feel like I should be like freaking tired, but for some reason I'm wide awake, and it's probably just because I'm feeling everybody else's energy in here.
Technically, tomorrow is my product development day, which means I get to play with glass. So I don't want to get cut too much.
Yeah.
Also soldering iron. So
know that feeling.
It's either that or I could just sit in front of Excel and just do product analysis.
Yeah.
I don't want to use my brain. No Excel.
I
do that later in the
I
day.
kind of feel that way because I have to do some video editing. Once we do get concluded, I do have some. I promise I had to do some video editing of stuff from Genshin today. I'm like, okay, got to edit this out.
Tomorrow night I'm going to be playing.
Morton, were there ideas to have different boards, like different skins?
Yes. Yeah, there were, and we actually
that been
also
scrapped?
had. No, it's not been scrapped at all. But
Okay.
it was very challenging and time consuming also to do it. We still have, I think, 4 or 5 boards,
Yeah.
but then basically it got, I wouldn't say canned, but it got changed, delayed a little bit because of the BBC announcement with Disney Plus. So
Right.
we had to rethink a lot of things, and I think we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
come out around mid or end of July with kind of like, I think it's gonna be end of July, where we're gonna take the community through everything what we're gonna do with now moving to mobile and how we're gonna do it, and I think taking them through what they will be able to see the game, play it, and what is actually coming and being released in November. I think they will appreciate it and see it both fun and engaging. That's the main thing, right? I need to make sure that we get the biggest audience and try to balance both, right? It
Right.
is.
Yeah.
they disagree.
No, I have a card. Do I want to play that card?
Okay.
No,
No,
it's
I
worth
thought
it
Dave
for
disagreed.
1 pointer.
Yeah, Dave has been just non-stop talking about mobile, so he's
Yeah.
all in. He's all in on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can jack my iPad into my StreamYard system. That's easy.
Yeah, and again, it's all about making sure how do we get the biggest audience, and again now with the Disney Plus worldwide audience, right? Getting we suddenly have a platform now that we can reach them and we can educate and we can get people to learn about this amazing IP. And I think if we
must admit, the only place I've seen it advertising is pretty much on this channel.
Yep.
I haven't seen it on many social.
We haven't spent a lot because again, when we were ready to push the button a little bit, saying that now we are in a state where we can promote it quite a lot. It also, again, going back to this is where BBC basically just told us, saying that okay, maybe we should wait with that because we want to push you guys. We were doing the big deal with them with all the big brands, so everything was kind of like just in one big mix, right? Because we couldn't go out, and a lot of people I know also in our own community doubted us, saying that BBC is just restricting you, they're not supporting you, they're all these things. And I think that's why we couldn't say anything, because we were under such a strict NDA that we couldn't say that BBC actually trusts us so much that we have now been in charge for their 26 brands and taking other IPs into the Web3 metaverse, right? So it was just really hard to not being able to say anything. At the same time, also changing your gameplay, dealing with all the legacy stuff. With the team had to deal with all that one, develop the new one, making sure that we had a version both on PTR but also on live that people can actually play. So it has been a massive challenge in trying to get all these moving parts to work.
That was my fault.
It's almost like you were told, hurry up and wait.
Well, if you ever want me to share that video on my social platforms, just send me a copy of that, the new trailer.
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I love that new trailer. I
do too.
That's like out of a
I
movie.
do too.
I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, I'm dropping that into the trailer channel in XLG. I'm definitely dropping that in there.
Yeah. And just to give, I think there was a question about if I'm concerned about the fact that Founders Token says it seems to dry up. Not at all, because we knew this, right? We couldn't put the marketing and the focus on it because we were developing the new approach and kind of like making that strategy. So I'm not concerned at all. I know it's going to be picked up. Again, it's all about, we need to have all these moving parts working together, all the different departments working together so people can see progression, they can see dev updates, they can see that we're working towards this bigger one. And now with the new kind of like approach of what we're going to do and making sure that Founders Token will always be, of course, appreciated, but also shown and make sure that the utilities and perks following that one would be honored, right? Which we need to be a little bit more. We need to have more strings to play at instead of just doing airdrops with packs every single time, because that's not sustainable in that sense, right? We need to be able to have more things that we can airdrop and give them, and also give them access to, and it can be basically everything, right? So that's what the team is coming back with, but from a research and an idea phase to actually something implemented, that's where gaming is super frustrating because it takes a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and even then, you're created something that's ongoing. That it's a gaming that's the it's not like a game that you release it, you're done. Maybe you have some DLC content here and there. No, this is an online. You're constantly adding to it. You're constantly evolving it. So because you have to look at that from that type of product perspective, you're not going to have one and done sales, especially when it comes to a founder's token. It's going to be possibly cyclical, or you're going to have these little peaks and valleys to it of when it coincides with a marketing push or a rollout. And since you are less than 2 years now old, you are just now getting the data to look at that to forecast. You really can't. But even then, your forecasting is going to be kind of because, like you said, now you have all these new brands. You're going to have a lot more things going on, and those can hopefully kind of cross pollinate a little. So forecasting's a little. So yeah, I absolutely. For me, I understand everything that you said before about him saying it's dried up. Well, from a sales perspective,
exactly. It has, right? When you're looking at it, yes, it has. It has dried up, but also looking at when we actually released maybe too big a batch. We can always argue, was the price too high? Not looking at the value that we have airdropped from the beginning to actually when we took the decision. That was more like, I think, $1,500-$1,600 back then, and was still going, right? So we
suddenly the game comes back.
One Artron off of being able to something half-ass decent.
I went to this quick start button, thinking that nobody's going to pick up, and surely enough, it put me in the game. So I'm playing somebody named Player5501 right now. I'm actually in a game.
King Tux says, "Hold on, is this a game you collectively made?"
Oh, can I?
No.
Oh,
this man.
It has to be completely empty.
This man, he's the CEO of Reality Plus. Him and his team made this amazing game. We're just the fools that like to play it and talk about it because we're Doctor Who fans.
But yes, it had. But in looking at the whole thing, right? Again, with the founders token, we of course now with multiple IPs, we also have an opportunity to add more to it, right? And I think we also hit a market that suddenly worldwide collapsed a little bit. A lot of crypto, big in that sense, crypto companies went bust. We saw a lot of what I call the NFT hype died out, in that sense that a lot of scam NFTs and kind of like what I call standard shitcoin, meme coins, kind of like projects came out, and people were just like, they lost money. That again, the whole industry is losing reputation. That also impacted us, and people were kind of like, again, and that's why we can discuss, right? Because people were coming in were purely speculative.
Yes.
Come in, buy something, wanted to make a quick buck, and then out again, right? Honestly, I don't want that type of audience. I respect that they are in it, but if they are only coming in to basically make quick bucks and then out again, why would I try and keep these type of people, right? Ideally, I want to convert them into becoming a fan, but that will take time, and it's all about we could see some users just coming in only for that one, right? I said, fine, but can't help you. If you don't feel like it's worth it, then it's not worth it. Then don't do it. But it is a challenge, right? Because you also have a board, you have investors, you have all that, right? And they want to see revenue, and I just like product first.
Yeah.
There are three pigs out there.
Yeah.
All I have to say.
That's Bacon time.
It's very bacon time. I want some bacon.
It's time.
I just love Muppet Show.
Lots of crispy bacon.
You need to get the fake alien pig from World War III.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a card. I want a pig deck.
Mm-hmm.
I like the piggy from yeah, it is World War III. Yeah.
Yeah,
The little pilot pig.
Yeah.
It's time to put on. It's time to put on bacon. It's time.
So, Morton, what made you come up with this concept originally? What made you do Doctor Who out of all the other IPs?
Because I think it had the depth and the characters where actually I would have a game that could continue for a long, long time. I think where you had the old episodes and coming into the new ones, I knew this was a TV series moving forward that still was going on. So again, working then with BBC and then being in sync with the actual show itself was suddenly where I could see that it's just not something that I'm inventing in that sense. It's actually where I'm just using a law and educating people about this amazing TV series, right? So for me it was about having all these different characters, and now when we did kind of like the packs in that sense that we had.
Sorry, I'm trying to listen to more in his words, and I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden, there's just a fleet of pig.
I'm sorry. I'm playing Animal again because there's a
pig.
That's what I have to say to that. What are they going for? Is this when you'd have double the amount or something? Like, this is weird.
But I think, Candyman, just to answer your question, I think so. Looking at where you had, where we used to have these packs where it was much more like frame related in that sense. I think moving forward, we're gonna have much more thematic kind of like launches and pack launches. So, like Silurian, Sea Devils, again, all these things where I think from a marketing point of view, yes, exactly, unit, where we can also do. Where I think we could do a much more kind of like cross collab between the game itself and the website, a whole takeover basically, where it's going to be kind of like in the theme of, let's say, unit. Then you have a unit pack where it's going to be 25 cards, because they're already in our PTR, meaning that they're already balanced. The community is already helped. So suddenly we can release in what I call this more thematic launches, which I think is going to be much better moving forward, instead of two kind of like spread out with a lot of different characters, right? So that's I just think with again, because it's so wide and it basically covers everything, so you can always find different angles within the Doctor Who, and you can't find that in any kind of other IPs. Very rare, I would say, some of the other IPs that I can do the same in depth. I think looking at it, I actually think Star Trek maybe is the only one coming closest to this one. If I'm honest, in looking at characters and types and stuff like that, and not even Star Wars, I think so is coming. It's coming in third, but I actually think Star Trek has the same depth that I think Doctor Who has.
Well, yeah, if you think like just how many series Star Trek's got, if you look at original, Next Gen, Discovery, Enterprise, Voyager, Underdecks.
And again, the funny thing is, right, they were on TV, right, where Star Wars has always only been in cinema and then on film, right? So I think the audience had a broader appeal and have maybe a more like common knowledge to Star Trek. One of the fun facts is that now BBC moved into with Disney Plus. Actually, normally an episode would cost maybe around £1 million, I think so. Now actually it's being tenfold, right? So it's like between 10 and 15 million pounds per episode in the new ones. It's massive. It's the same budget that we're seeing with Mandalorian and some of these ones, right? So it's going to be interesting to see the difference. I think so.
Yeah.
Yay.
I agree with Star Trek having.
Sorry.
I was going to say I agree that the Star Trek at this point really does have the depth of the universe, because for the longest time it was television based, so you had more episodes and then you had everything, all that kind of stuff was canon. Meanwhile, Star Wars, you had like the movies and you had some like animated like Clone Wars, that kind of stuff, but Everything else was the books. And it was kind of like, all right, is it? And now they're just kind of playing catch up with, okay, well, we're going to call that Legends, and this is called canon. And with Disney Plus, they're finally getting their feet into TV, and they're starting to get that depth. But no, I absolutely agree that's you have Doctor Who first and foremost, but then Star Trek would be the close second on properties where you could dive in and go, okay, here's a bunch of stuff.
Somebody drop a bomb.
No, we just went head to head on a bunch of guys. I'm like, I'm down to like 1 health on all of these guys.
I question this player that I'm playing with. He's really stalling. He's like he's waiting for me to like. He's gotten some great moves. I'm just like, oh, I don't understand this.
You are nowhere out of line there, King Tut. But no, they're not allowed. But I'll let Morton answer that question.
Yes.
Yeah, we are not allowed.
It's a simple part like that. It's like we're not allowed.
Well,
welcome to licensing and IP.
Simply just the license doesn't allow us to do a tabletop version. Like we're not allowed. We can only do a digital. We can only do NFTs, Web3 in that sense. That's kind of like
you win because I can't block your dinosaur.
that's the kind of limitations that we have, right? So we can't do a tabletop version. Ideally, we would like to, but I also believe that moving forward, if I'm looking at it from a really nerdy point of view, first of all, I will get a bigger audience. I can reach worldwide. I can have a better, more broader, diverse community, but also looking at rarities and looking at kind of like what I call the old-fashioned way with physical cards, now with the digital ones, because it's coming from the blockchain and I can verify it basically, and also it's transparent and trusty. Then I can also see how many is actually in circulation. So I can actually prove there's only X amount in circulation. I don't know that when I'm going out and buying a physical card, let's just say baseball cards, right? Like Melanie was saying, I actually don't know how many is actually out there. I need to trust that, this is a really good buy, but is it a good buy if there's anything actually?
That was a good one. That was a very good one.
If there's 15 in circulation, right? Is that then still a kind of like a good buy, or I actually overpaid? But is it because you can now basically confirm there's only 15 in circulation, or there's only 7 in circulation, and 2 of them is taking outside on OpenSea or in a third wallet or whatever, because I can see all that on the blockchain, right? So I can actually also put a more accurate price. I can also see past trades, meaning that I can actually give you a bigger kind of like, or better kind of like listing price, more like accurate one, and then we can start looking into combination with frame and the serial number, all these kind of parts, because suddenly we can see that a serial 10 with a 10th Doctor in maybe in a super rare frame would actually cost more money than a serial 1 in another combo, right?
Oh, that was a big issue with Pokemon cards. Amount of cards which got cloned and from China, from all over the world, of literally loads and loads of counterfeit cards.
Exactly. Counterfeit is actually the biggest problem for any kind of producer, right? So.
And that's a good thing, is that you've got trackability on the cards. Yeah. So it's like in the UK, if we want to purchase a car, we can track the history of where the car's been.
Yeah, and I can do the same thing, right? I can see exactly all these kind of things, been taken out, been taken in, when it's being traded, all these kind of things is making it, and that's why I keep saying it. It's kind of like these, the 3 T's. So it's kind of like it's transparent, and again, it's traceable and it's trusty.
That would be
that's what cool. You need, right? That's why also blockchain, like I keep saying it from a carbon point of view, or anything with carbon offsetting.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to this other game.
This is the same thing, right? You need that transparency if you need to trust the carbon offsetting or the carbon certificate that you're buying, right? You can track all these things down, and that's what we need, right? Because otherwise and this is where human is really annoying, right? Because then you need to trust people. Is it actually right? Like you said, one of the old issues we have within gaming, that if you have leveled up your account, yes, you can you can sell it, but it's always illegal, right? It's against T's and C's, and you need to trust the person that is now getting basically your account, where your email is now attached to. Suddenly they're getting all this information, right? And you need to trust them that they're actually sending the money. It doesn't need to be an account. It can also just be an asset in a skin in Counter-Strike, whatever it is. But you need to trust people, and this is where the blockchain eliminates that whole trust. I don't need to trust people. I need to trust the tech, and I need to trust that the smart contract is actually executing if there's a buyer and seller. Agree?
That might be another in a later date, because I know you got loads to do, but that might be a nice little new feature. So if you got a card, you can just put it in the database and it'll just bring up the track history.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the Explorer that we already have the Explorer that we are using behind the scenes, and basically we are using it to see wash trading, all these kind of things. We need to make sure that basically all the kind of like AML, KYC, and we can track that whole thing, right? We can see that, and that's why the Blog Explorer is not visible in that sense. But we are looking into how can we make a Blog Explorer also more sexy and make it more visually, like you can see it instead of it's just numbers, because it does make sense for a lot of people. And it's just like, but why are we seeing this? Like, show me basically the storyline of the card itself, from when it was minted, the journey, where's it been to, how's it been traded, X amount of days, all these kind of things, which is valid data, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. We do that in the UK for cars.
Yeah.
We type in the vehicle registration, and it just pulls it out when it's been MOT'd, when it's taxed, and it's just free to do. Anyone can do it. Any car.
Yeah, for here, that's our car report, our little Carfax, to find out, okay, what's going on with this vehicle? If I can figure out with the vehicle, I'd like to know what's going on with the card, or any other type, quite frankly, any type of asset that I've purchased, that I put my money on.
Yeah. And again, now you've issued them via the smart contract, right? You can also say that basically what I can do, I can whitelist that smart contract, saying that anybody who wants to trade, or if you're connecting your wallet to any kind of external site that is saying that, let's just say we see all this Twitter scam happening a lot, right? Where people are saying, now you can get a free card of this, this, and this. This could ideally be a Doctor Who collection saying that, go in and claim your free pack, right? Then you're connecting your MetaMask to it or whatever you're doing, and basically it's just draining your whole wallet. I can whitelist basically, just so, if your wallet that we have issued, I can whitelist basically that one, so saying that if you're connecting, you can't connect your wallet unless it's connected to a white label or whitelisted smart contract, and I can put that into my system. So basically, we just give you an error. Sorry, we don't trust this site. It's not being issued by us, so it's nothing to do with the original IP. So that's also some of the things that we're looking into. How can we protect the brands that we represent into this whole new world, right? Because they have no idea how to navigate in it, and we need to be the brand guardian for them, right?
That sounds awesome. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Where are your studios based?
Up Leamington Spa.
Okay.
So that's like 49 game companies up there. So that's where the majority of our team's sitting. Then we have some game devs also here in Denmark. Then most of our website team is also up in Leamington Spa area, and designers and all that. And then we have a small branch in Macedonia also that I'm expanding a little bit. I used to have a company in Macedonia, and actually 2 of my employees before I started this company in my old company I've brought over actually. So they are holding the fort down there, and then we are expanding slowly. Just made an agreement with the IT university in the city, how we can help them basically also into Web3 and understanding this whole new technology, because they're looking into how they can make sure that their education is up to date, so it's relevant once the students basically graduate. So it's really interesting.
If you're in Leamington Spa, so one of the nearest universities is going to be in Montfort.
Yeah, maybe that's my geography just not good enough. I know we are talking to Coventry University also, with having kind of like a partnership with them also. And then I have already, like I said, in Copenhagen here, we have, and then we're setting up other places also, right? We're expanding a little bit. We want to look at expanding from 24, start of 24 into APAC. So it's going to be Singapore, Japan.
Mhm.
Recently just been to Japan, really amazing. They have an amazing ecosystem. And actually, I was very much surprised working with some of the biggest companies out there, kind of like see how we could work together. And also because we now, with the MiCA regulation, how with GDPR and all these kind of things, we are now embracing that within the EU, meaning that we can now be, we can help them basically come into Europe, right? So, because we now have a framework we can work under. So this is one of the good positive things, right? And that's why the US is behind, to be honest, because of the whole SEC and, they're just losing opportunities, to be honest. So,
Kristen, you still getting your butt handed to you by some rando?
So far he's got 19, I got 30, but I didn't realize that there was right now.
Can you share your screen? Because if you can share your screen, we can watch them.
Yeah.
We can watch
Yeah.
this too, right?
Is he frozen or is he sleeping?
That is hard to be sure.
Let's have turned.
Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah, it must be. Like I said,
This
every
is so
time,
bad.
he tries. Every time he shares his screen, he loses his voice,
Yeah.
which means it's like some sort of bandwidth blockage.
yeah.
I don't know if that's due to a firewall or due to a router or just due to the game ports not being open.
Because I know if I'm sharing my screen and if I'm doing stuff that's going to be a lot of work on my computer, I'm always hardwired in. Or I try to be hardwired in.
Yeah.
My laptop doesn't have a hard wire, but if that's the case, I'm like right next to the Wi-Fi. So I've got that perfectly down. I'm like, okay, I got you this. And I've got a dedicated Wi-Fi just for my computer. I'll have everything else running on some other thing.
If anyone wants to join in, whether you're in this stream or not, that's our private match name.
It's sad for me to say that I'm gonna probably go to bed before Fat Viking because
I'm gonna leave now, so it looks like
okay, because I'm like I'm done. I'm like okay, I'm hungry.
It needs to look like I'm responsible, Melanie. That's why. So.
Well, it's like
you are working. You worked through the night.
You're working. You're doing marketing. You're promoting. Look at this.
There are a bunch of people on a bunch of different well, not a bunch of platforms because it's all Twitch, but a bunch of people on a bunch of channels talking to you and learning stuff.
Look at that.
And one thing that I thought of at the end of that last game, Martin, because you've got the little emotes where you can say, "Hey, good game." Hey, hello. You can't say "good game" after the game ends. The ones that you win, you lose banner comes up. You can no longer take that action, which is when you'd want to normally do that.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a way that you can disengage the connection, maybe 3 to 5 seconds later, so at least they can say good game, and then disconnect, and then
or even at that point add in a text field so you could just send a message to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, or like even another idea is, which is I use this in Genius Invocation. I'm like, man, I'm selling this game today. There's a concede button, so if you're playing and you're like, there's no way I'm going to win this, you just go hit concede, and that way you don't have to wait.
Oh, concede.
Yeah,
I like to forfeit.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I do like the idea of having it so that it doesn't disengage like maybe 3 seconds after the fact, so you can say good game. But I think that's even just more of a way to push the fact, hey, join Discord or join our Discord so you can talk into our community, blah, 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 Yeah. So they can't speak.
Discord.
I love it. I'm a mod on like 3 channels. I've got Nitro. I can go off on Discord.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Discord.
Just to quickly give you on that idea with what you can write to the player afterwards. The problem is that we want to control what is actually being communicated, because otherwise you will have toxic behavior and
that's fair.
Exactly.
Or even add that drop down menu that you have in there. Just have that appear at the same time as when you lose. Yeah. Hey, do you want a message? And here's your options.
Exactly what I thought it was like DBD is, because DBD is like that, where you're on console you can't say anything, but if you're on PC, and it does get very toxic with some people.
But no, I like the idea at least being able to say good games and the other person can see it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Before chat's been disengaged.
That's a good. That's a great idea, King.
Yeah,
In
but
chess
again,
world, they
it's
use a
because
bunch of-
it's because I'm thinking it into a bigger perspective. Because it's again with the I keep saying it and I hate it, but the proof of contribution, right? It's also how good a sport you are, and if you kind of like, it's not
Rage
only
quit.
just about you helping and how you behave and what you report and all these kind of things, right? It's also when you play, kind of like, are you actually, this should be fun for everybody, right? If people are being toxic, that is basically something that my future software can detect and basically also just punish you for it. And that's why it's not only just text, it's also audio and it's also behavior.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's
because it's
fair.
like that whole dumbed down Macarena has something similar to it, but instead they have smiley faces, and you could just go into the game and you kill the other person, and then they give you this angry face. And next thing is you're getting killed by them over and over and over again. It's like, what the heck? It's just a game.
I know. I can't remember which
Yeah.
game it was, but I know there was one game where people got caught cheating. Ended up in this like pen where all the other cheaters were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a few different games that have done that sort of thing.
Yeah, Call of
Yeah.
Duty's done that.
no, but again, you're actually raising a quite good point, right? Because from a game producer point of view, or let's say from a player point of view, if you're cheating, right, and we know that some people cheat, right, and we know that sometimes it's young people, and that's actually one of the issues I have. Let's say Fortnite is a really good example, right? You're gonna get banned for life, for something that is just a stupid fucking, okay, you can get banned for a certain amount of time, but not banned for life. First of all, you spend money, it's your property, and now they're just gonna seize basically your whole collection, right? It's things like this where this needs to be basically elevated to a higher, and this is basically something that politicians need to address, right? Because it's consumer rights at the end. We're talking about, because and awesome game producers, yes, we can be annoyed people cheating and all these kind of things, and yes, we can ban them, and again, we don't want to tolerate toxic behavior, but if we can integrate basically systems where we are rewarding the good behavior and basically helping and rewarding the community members who help us save basically our community and again the values and what we represent, that is where we suddenly just will eliminate, because then I don't need to be an admin in, because the community knows that if they're behaving the right way and they know what kind of behavior and values that we stand for as a community, they will take care of this, right? And especially now with the software we're integrating, where my mods, I don't need to scale up with 10 more mods or 20 more mods, because let's say we're going to have a community of 1 million players, because the software automatically will detect all the negative or the toxic or the spam and all that, so they will just be alerted and then they can react to it. So it's about, they are also helping us basically protecting our own community, right? So
I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sorry.
everybody.
Same thing to me. So I just wanted to say
no.
Thank you.
You're up like all noon. So, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
No, I need
You got carte blanche, sir.
I have.
You have unlimited bacon sandwiches.
Yeah, unlimited bacon sandwiches. Yeah.
You have all 4 in the morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to run, but thank you
All
for
right.
joining us tonight. And you guys can close the doors when you're done. So have fun with that.
I'm leaving too. So
we'll talk.
Thank you all.
We'll definitely talk, my friend.
Oh,
definitely.
Before we disappear, yes, this is not Nemesis. This is closer to Villainous, but this is Doctor Who Nemesis. If you go over to theratohole.ca, I think it's /DW-Nemesis. But if you go to my website, you can find part 1 of this review. I'm working on what will end up being about a 6-part review, because I'm reviewing each of the different factions, and it's about 1,000 words per faction so far. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to split this up, and Nick over at Cosmic Mask is going to put them out monthly as well. So
yay. Okay.
I'm hoping to have the rest of those come out over the summer while I'm on my 6 weeks road trip to a whole bunch of events. It'd be nice if I had a reality plus.
I'm just saying real quick, Rose's arm, the queen, looks like Mort's arm. He's like this. See, not like that.
You have a woman's arm.
And bam, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
I'm gonna run the the commercial one more
go
time
ahead.
at the end of this.
I'm out.
Y'all can go away.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Thank you very much.
I'll do some video editing, upload it to YouTube, and I'll send it to you, Mort, for all that stuff for on the innovation.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Give you some ideas.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Have a
Thank
great
you all.
morning.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening. Good day.
Cheers.
Good
Bye.
afternoon.
Bye.